Hey everybody, it's Erin, and I got a challenge from Shannon Green. Her challenge is to come up with ideas for folders. Now, she did a video, and I will link it up here, about how she created file folders. She didn't want to do just basic manila file folders. She wanted to make cute ones using scrapbook paper to host a whole bunch of paperwork and things like that. And so I'm taking it to a different level. And I wish I had one to show you, but I don't have one plain, so I'm gonna have to show you in a project I finished previously. And what I loved are these little file folders right here. And this started off as a manila folder. It was kind of ivory, actually. So this little folder right here. And I wanted to create something for another mini book for autumn, and I wanted to use these papers. And then as soon as she said make file folders, I was like, aha! I can use this. And so these are some of the new patchwork miscellaneous papers that have come out with Canvas Core. And this one's gold and this one's orange, and they just scream autumn to me. So we're going to turn these into 4 different little folders, and I'm going to show you how. So because they're already kind of set to being in sections, we're going to play with that concept. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to split it in half. We're going to cut off this little end right here. And then we are going to fold, and this is going to become our folder right here between the 2 dividing lines. Now, if you wanted to make a full-fledged folder like she did in her video, you could do the same concept if you want to, but I like the mini folder purposely for using it in a book, but if you didn't want to use a book, you wouldn't have to. So here's the beginning of our little folder right here, and I did the measurement of the one that was in this book, and the one that measured in this book is pretty close to the same sizes. So just take a look in size comparison. So see this, I know you can't see that too well, but in terms of length, the length is about a 6 inch, or about the 4 inch. The width, I mean, and the length is at the 6 inch. That's why I thought, oh, I looked at this and went, perfect, this just fits perfectly. Now, I love the little tab idea. And so what we are actually going to do is we are going to cut a little bit into this section right here. So we are going to wrap my head around what I'm doing here. We are going to cut a little bit right here. We're going to go, I need to be a little more exact here. We're going to go 1 inch, half an inch, sorry. Gotta get my bearings here. That's 1. I don't want a full inch. I want to do a half. There we go. So that way there's a ½ inch into this star paper. There we go. So now you've got that little section up here. Shannon left hers just like this, and now she has a little file folder, and she used a double-sided paper, but I figured when I'm going in to do my little mini book, I'm going to spray this and mist this up and do all kinds of other fun stuff. If you wanted to glue another sheet of paper in here, you could to make it even stiffer, but for now I'm just going to make this. I could easily go in and glue another section of paper to each of these. So now to get my little file folder tab, what I'm going to do, and for one of them, because I'm making 4, I'm going to make the tabs at 4 different sections. So for this guy, I'm going to leave him plain. So I'm going to measure it. And because this is 6 inches long, you've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could actually do 6 tabs and each of them be different. I'm not going to make 6 folders, I'm only making 4. So I'm actually going to make the tabs about 1.5 inches long. So that would be, that's 1.5 inches to there. Another 1.5 inches would be to there. Another 1.5 inches is to here. So 1.5 inches for full 4 folders for the tab width is perfect for 4. It fits the entire 6 inches. So this is my first 1.5 inches is to here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to cut 1/4 inch. I'm not going to cut the full ½ inch. I'm going to cut 1/4 inch because I want a little bit of the back paper to kind of pop through. So here's, yeah, 1/4. And I'm going to cut to my marking point. I'm just going to be able to see my mark. Well, I know where I need to go. I need to go to right there. Haha. Just use your measurement tool. And then I can use my scissors and finish it off. And there it is. Ta-da! I have a little bit of showing here, and here is my cute little file folder. And when I get through, I'm going to be inking all this up. Now at this stage, if you wanted to, and I'm going to take my my corner rounders, and I'm going to punch to give me a cool little detail on here, kind of finish it off. I'm also going to do on this corner, and I'm going to do this corner. And I have tried to figure out how to punch a corner into there, and I can't, so I'm just leaving it whole. I have not, and I have even attempted, here's my trial run with just some blank paper. I went in and I tried to get in there and punch, and I can't get in there. And then I tried to do another one where I cut it with scissors, and it looks awful. I mean, it looks bad. So I'm not even going to attempt to do those things, and I'm just going to leave it as is. I also pulled out another corner punch, which is kind of an even more fun detail, and I might do that on a couple of them as well. But I like the idea of just the plain round punch. So I'm going to go ahead and create the other 3 of these, but I'm going to speed it up. Alright, so this is what we got so far. I did end up using all the extra papers to go ahead and fill in part of this, and then to add a fun tab, and I just played with the colors. So I did use just orange with orange, but like I used a little sliver of a backing for up here. I used, because it was already cut to size. Pieces that was left over, I just filled in, added in here, added an extra tab, same as what was in here. I don't have anything to add to here, unless I wanted to go in and do like this, but I'm not going to bother. I did go ahead and repunch the corner so it does look nice, and then this is just a square, so it's just something different. And they do all line up, so here is our order. So they got 4 tabs going across, and it's ready to start making a little mini book. Just punch a couple holes, and then you already have the beginnings of a fun little book and 4 little mini folders from 2 sheets of cardstock. It's pretty awesome. If you wanted to go in and get more cardstock and fill in the other gaps, I might do that as I'm creating the book, but I just used up whatever papers that I had left. So to fill in these extra spaces won't take that long. I did make one mistake, and it's on this particular one. I cut too far in, so it made this tab bigger, which means it's going to fold this way, which it still works just fine. It's just the fold, or you could flip it around and you have the tab on that side. It's really just a personal preference at this point. I think I kind of like it like this. You know, it just makes the book just a little bit different. So each one of your folders could be just a tiny bit different depending on how far you cut in for your tab. So thanks for stopping by and checking out my version of making little file folders, mini file folders, in fall autumn colors using the miscellaneous paper from Canvas Corp. So thanks so much. Bye-bye.